So, Omega Shenron is kinda broken. So yesterday, ASTD finally posted another update with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Omega Shenron. And honestly, it was not what I was expecting at all. The Omega Shenron is obtainable through the special summon in the Stardust banner. Their 5-star is the Ice Shenron and Nova Shenron. And their evolution material requires 4 Black Star Dragon Balls for the first evolution, and for the second evolution also only requires 4 Black Star Dragon Balls. And once you get him 7-starred, yeah, he's kind of broken. We'll go into a training real quick and I'll show you exactly why. Alright, so here we are in training, and the reason why Omega Shenron is pretty broken is because of his utilities, and he can be essentially used in any content, whether it comes to raid, story, or infinite. He just has so many things in his kit and passive that you gotta see. So he costs 1.5k on placement, so he's not a starter unit, but once you get the ball rolling, he can go crazy. So first upgrade 3.5k to 261k, so pretty massive jump. Okay, and then his upgrade 3, he gets hybrid, so pretty cheap. He is pretty cheap to get hybrid. Although he's not hybrid on placement, he can be upgraded fairly easily to obtain the hybrid ability. Okay, so his first move, or technically his second move, he turns into this cone AoE. He has hybrid, and he's nature type 2, so pretty nice. But I'll get to the reason why he is so broken with his typing. I'll get to that in a moment. So he gets more damage, and then upgrade 6. Negative Energy Shroud. I'll explain that in a few minutes, but we'll see what the abilities or the upgrades can do. So 420k, so this is like around the upgrade where you have your farms are maxed out and you could just upgrade this guy to Oblivion for raids, for example. So 420k and then 720k, so it's towards the end game of raids. So his next move is Negative Karma Ball. He gets up to 125 million damage, 10 SPA, and 207 range. So a lot of big numbers. The power creep is honestly ridiculous. So yeah, this upgrade 9 is mainly for infinite purposes only. So 7 million for upgrade 9, and then 9.3 million for upgrade 10, which should be his last upgrade. Yes, it is. And he gets this new ability called Negative Energy Rebirth with essentially double his damage. So there we go. Now, I shall explain why Omega Shenron is essentially broken and he just power creeps the entire game, essentially. So, remember what I said about him being nature type and that's very important for him? So, in his passive, he has the mechanic of enchant change, similar to like Asta or Fusamasu that can change any typings to light type so they can get type advantage. So, for Omega Shenron, he can change enemy typings to electric types, which is insanely broken, and you'll see why in a moment. So his first ability on upgrade 6, I believe, I think it's upgrade 6, his Negative Energy Shroud, is essentially very similar to the physical LR Omega Shenron from Dokkan Battle. So he deploys a domain for 420 seconds, and while it's active, all enemies move 10% slower that can stack with other types of slows, and all enemies continuously lose 0.7% of their max HP until they reach 66% of their max HP. That is insane, especially for raids, because, you know, the raid bosses have like 15 million, 20 billion health, and Omega Shenron can just bypass that by just continuously letting them lose 0.7% of their max HP. Although the cooldown, I'm not exactly sure how long the cooldown is, but I think it's like a global cooldown or one-time thing, because it takes a while for the shading over the ability to deplete, so yeah. In addition to that, all units in the Unworldly Beings, Pure Evil, or Final Bosses category can gain 15% more damage and always do type advantage against all enemies with an enchant. That's busted. So if you're essentially running a villain team, they all have type advantage. It's mind-blowing. Like, this ability alone, this Negative Energy Shroud, is so good. Also, I love how they use the physical LR Omega Shenron as the picture right there. Okay, let's see. There we go. So we'll spawn a couple of the enemies here. So look at this, dude. He has such a big circle AoE. It's massive. And watch, well, these enemies don't really have enchant, so it's kind of hard to showcase how powerful he can be. I'll just post a clip on this. I'll just post a clip when I stream the update for the first time. You'll see how broken he is in raids. Oh my god! All right, buff time. And bop, bop, bop. Cinema. 3 hits. It took 3 hits to kill the bosses. Okay, so here is what it looks like when you pop negative Energy Shroud. So the enemies, as you can see, is like a pink slow icon. So that's making them 10% more slower, and it can stack with other slows like wax slow or regular slow. So it's pretty nice. And if you have unworthy beings, pure evil, or I forgot what the other category was, final bosses, they gain 15% more damage and has type advantage during the duration of this domain. So this Omega Shenron is super powerful for raid story because it only costs about, hold on, give me 1 second. So upgrade 6 and his sell value is 29.9k. That's insanely cheap. So if you're running raids, you can literally run this guy just for his domain alone, because the fact that he has this ability that all enemies continually lose 0.7% of their max HP until they reach 66%. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. And so for his second ability, this is mainly for infinite purposes only. As you can see, the last 2 upgrades is like in total like 16 million cash. So for his second ability, negative energy rebirth. Lose within seconds of use to activate. Pushes all enemies back 4 paths. So it's essentially like Funny Valentine with the D4C, but you would die. You would die. But it's like a revive type of thing, you know? And it can push all enemies back 4 paths. So path-wise, let's talk about like this type of path. So each corner is counted as a path. So if the enemy reaches your base and you die, you pop the ability. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So they would stop around like this general area right here if you pop the ability properly. I haven't tested it yet, but this is just in theory of what the second ability could possibly do. So yeah, Omega Shenron can be used in any sort of content. He's just that broken. Alright, give me 1 quick second to grab a buff real quick. I don't have the best buff in the world. I don't have Yuha or Speedaholic or anything like that, unfortunately. So we'll only be seeing the Omega Shenron stats with a 250% buff with Kisuke Urahara. So give me 1 second. Alright, and we are back. And I also gave Omega Shenron the Ultra Magic Orb to give him his best capabilities. Although we are missing the 50% extra damage buff since I don't have 300% damage buff with Yuha or Speedaholic. So this is just a heads up. This is purely with the 250% buff from Kisuke. So alright, on placements, so maxed out, he's doing 446 million damage, 10 SPA, and 214 range before he gets buffed. And with Kisuke buff, let's see, what do we got? So, boom, 1.56 billion damage, 10 SPA, and 256 range. I think, if I remember right, with the 300% buff, this guy is hitting like 287 range, and 1.68 billion damage, I believe, somewhere around there if I remember right. But yeah, Omega Shenron is absolutely insane. If you guys haven't pulled him yet, please do. He is absolutely broken. He's a must run for any raid or any content really, and his Evo requirements are very easy compared to other 7-stars that we've gotten in the past. So if you guys have not summoned for him, please go for him now. He's just broken. Alright, that's it. See ya.